Well, hello, and welcome to Church in the Community from Moody Bible Distance Learning. This is your fearless leader, Professor Jefferson Williams, coming to you from the remote location of my office in Pontiac, Illinois. Hey, week one is done. Can you imagine? That's fantastic. Now, week one might have been interesting for you, but I spent it in the entire week in the hospital with my wife. Actually, she slept most of the time, so it was harder on. That's not fair. It was hard on her. It was, but I drove back and forth, and we both just kind of hit a wall, and we're so thankful that I got to bring her home yesterday. So she's actually asleep right now. So she's going to heal up. She'll be better. I just really appreciate your calls, your text. I really appreciate your prayers. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll be a lot more engaged now that I'm not trying to run back and forth to the hospital. So, all right, week two. Just a couple of things about week one. Wow. Wow. That's my Christopher Walken. Wow. A lot of times I have to, in the first video, I have to sort of say, okay, you guys started good on the discussion boards, but let's ramp it up a little bit. You guys were fantastic. That was awesome. So keep it up. That's all I'm going to say. The original posts were great. The responses were fantastic. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I would just remind you that if somebody asks you a question, to make sure that you answer it, which I think I saw every person did, and especially if you're a fearless leader, the one that talks in third person, the fearless leader, if he asks you a question, please make sure to answer that. Okay, week two. Week two, you're going to be doing some reading in Jacobson and Keller. You're going to watch a 6-minute video. I wish it was 6 hours. If you're not familiar with John Perkins, I've seen him preach live. Down in Mississippi. I was part of the Mission Mississippi racial reconciliation movement down there in the 90s, and he is a legend. God has used him mightily, and if you watch that 6-minute video and you just say, you know what, I want some more, just YouTube him. He's all over. Just watch, listen to him preach. It's so dynamic. It's so gravitas. That's the word. The man has gravitas. There is power when he speaks. Okay, so you're going to be reading that and then watching the video. Remember to continue to work on your theology of shalom. That'll be due next week. Remember double-spaced. Please double-space for my 50-year-old eyes. And then, I just had a birthday. That's a really weird thing for me to say, 50-year-old eyes. I don't feel 50 years old. I don't know. Some of you don't even understand what I'm talking about, and others of you are tracking. So. But just for my 50-year-old eyes, please double space. So this week, the discussion boards is you're going to be talking about bike lanes and human thriving. Okay, so pages 215 to 220, you're going to have this idea of bike lanes. If you look on page 216, and what you're going to do is you're part of the leadership of your church. Are you going to support it, bike lane? Are you going to oppose it, or are you going to abstain, which is a whole different thing. Abstaining is a valid third option. Okay, so you're going to talk about that and why or why not. Most of the time on your discussion boards, you are required to respond to 2 students. This week, you're only going to do 1. Okay, so you just have to respond to 1. And then you will be writing a 4-page double-spaced paper about partnering with non-Christians in pursuing justice. Who will we partner with? Do churches partner with other churches? Do we partner with individuals? How do we do it? To what degree do we do it? How do we maintain our witness? Could I go to a soup kitchen and serve food with a lesbian nun? Yes? No? I don't know. I threw that in there on purpose. So I am going to be poking at you. I'm going to be asking you guys some questions about this because it is real. Okay, if we're going to pursue justice, if we're going to pursue God's righteousness, His kingdom and His righteousness, right? If we're going to pursue that, then we might choose to partner with non-Christians because non-Christians are doing some good stuff. They really are, but the motivations are different. Things can get complicated. So you're going to just kind of give me your ideas on all that. Okay, So the question of the week is this. If you've had me before, you already know this question. It's my favorite question, one of my favorite questions. But if I gave you a debit card, a gift card, unlimited funds, infinite amount of funds, and a time machine, what band or artist would you sit on the front row to see? And I'm going to give you some grace, okay? I'm going to give you, okay. A lot of times I have moody students say what they think they want me to say. I want them to say. I would go see David sitting on a hill playing his harp. Okay, if that's, I'm not mocking you. If that's you, I get it. But you don't have to give me the Amy Grant answer. Okay, I'll start. I'll be the heathen and I'll start. I would go see The Doors, 1967, Whiskey Go Go. Okay, Jim Morrison in his prime. I got obsessed with Jim Morrison a couple of years ago, read a whole bunch of books about him. If he hadn't become a rock star, he would probably still be alive. He'd be a poet living in Paris. It's a very sad, tragic story. But that's mine, okay? So it could be Christian. I am not, I've had people say Mozart and Beethoven, you can go all the way back there, or you can go to whatever. But just who would you see? Okay. So do you have any questions, comments, or prayer requests? Please let me know. And I think that's about it. Let's do week 2 together.